Hi, everybody. RivkaLeah here. Another wonderful Friday night. And tonight we're talking about manipulation and what goes on behind the scenes. I think we deal with manipulation every day in some form of another. And I think that we all do manipulation, to some degree or another. Um, I'd like to say I don't really condone manipulation, but I think, like I said, everyone does it to some degree or another. So, what I wanted to do tonight, because I am really trying to not keep everybody on here so long. It's your Friday night. You might want to have the date night with yourself with the self care. You might want to spend time with family or friends or go out and enjoy the weather for wherever you are. So, I'm going to do a little bit here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what goes on behind manipulation, what people are kind of thinking, and how they may or may not be related to some of the dark personality traits. And then I got a couple stories for you to kind of show what manipulation is, right? And I have lots of notes for you because I want to make sure that I don't forget anything and I want to cover as much detail as I can. And if you guys have any questions or you want me to elaborate on anything, just let me know. Okay. And okay, so let's start with it can take a lot of different forms, and the ultimate goal in manipulation is what? Is control, right? You want to control somebody, or the manipulator wants to control somebody or some situation, and get something out of it. Typically, it's something of some kind of a personal gain. Maybe it's a financial gain, a promotion, but there's some type of gain that the manipulator will get out of this manipulation. They will tend to exploit the vulnerabilities of individuals. And I'm going to some of these I want to relate to some of the dark personality traits since we do talk about those a lot. And then I'll go into more specifically each one of the dark personality traits and what their manipulation tactics are and what they gain from them. So, under the personal gain parameter here, we're looking at like Machiavellianism or psychopathy. All of them really, but those two primarily use the personal gain perspective of it in their manipulation tactics. Then there's always, people manipulate for power and control. I already said control. So it boosts their ego. They usually go after people that have some sort of an insecurity, or like I said, the vulnerabilities, they exploit that. And they have, or they go after somebody that has, a very low self-worth or some self-esteem issues. And other people may manipulate because they have a fear of confrontation. They have a fear of the negative outcomes. So they manipulate to avoid the truth or avoid taking responsibilities for some of the things that they have done and or said. Then there's always narcissists and Machiavellianism. Will use the emotional component more than psychopathy, because psychopathy, right, they don't have emotions, right? They lack all of that. So there's, emotional gratification and emotional blackmail. So typically a narcissist or a Machiavellian person will do it because they are looking for attention. Narcissists, what are they? They think that they are all that. They have that grandiose, image of themselves. So they do it for attention or some sort of affection or sympathy. Again, a narcissist, they do it for sympathy because they have to play the victim. Doing it for, if they're doing it for as emotional blackmail, again, both of these personality traits, they do it to guilt someone or shame somebody or to cause some sort of fear for that person, right? They try to intimidate them. I was just in a situation this week where somebody was trying to intimidate me in a large group of people, and this individual was trying to intimidate me. It was a very clear tactic. I do know this individual, and I do know that that is their personality type. So of course I was not intimidated, and I ended up just walking away. So, those are things to kind of be looking out for. What are some other ways that people, manipulate jealousy and envy because they're trying to undermine somebody? They're trying to level that playing field. So if somebody is jealous of you, they're going to try to manipulate this whatever situation that is going on so that they look like they're, as good as you, and so they're trying to level everything out. They're trying to be the more superior individual. um, so that's more like that's the psychopathy personality trait, because they have no emotions, they have no empathy, no nothing. um, then people may manipulate based on social acceptance, so they may change who they are to fit in, to manipulate people's perceptions, right? So again, Machiavellian and narcissists, right? They keep that mask on, and I think I talked about that last week, about how long somebody can keep a mask on before it comes off and they revert to who they really are. And that comes out in social situations. So you might meet somebody, and I think I talked about this a little bit last week. You might meet somebody and they're like the bee's knees, right? They're the best thing next to sliced bread, and you're all in. And a couple months down the road, you're finding out that, oh heck, that's really not what they are, right? They're really just a horrible person. So, another way that people tend to manipulate is when they're very competitive. And that's going to be like your narcissist, right? They're very competitive. So, they're going to spread rumors and misinformation because they want to weaken that opponent. And they're going to do it in a way that they are the victim. So, that's how they're manipulating that. Um, so, they all of these things, they want to preserve their image, they want to conceal their flaws, they want to exaggerate their accomplishments. These are all, if you think about all the different areas of your life where you may have experienced manipulation, it covers all of these different things, right? All the different emotions, all the different situations that you're in, personal, professional. It even happens in families. People in families, they do manipulate each other, unfortunately, for all of those reasons that I just explained. So now I kind of want to look at, just so we understand again, and we talk about this a lot, what each of the dark personality traits are and what they use the manipulation for. So, for example, Machiavellianism, they feel that their goals are over and above everybody else's. They're very cunning, they're very strategic. So, just in that description alone, you can see how these individuals would manipulate somebody. They're very good at deception. They lie a lot to distract from the truth. They exploit people's vulnerabilities. They use a lot of charm to gain people's trust so that they can get them to do the things that they want. And they like to play on people's emotions so that they can control them. Okay. And which is similar to narcissists. All of these traits do have crossover and some similarities. So then we have narcissism, again, that huge inflated sense of self-importance. They like to gaslight people and make them doubt that their own thoughts and feelings are actually what their thoughts and feelings are. And of course, then the ever-present love bombing, which is what you would typically get when you first start into a relationship with a narcissist, because they're going to shower you with gifts and affection, and they'll be there, and they'll be so appreciative of everything that you do. And then they slowly withdraw all of that, and then the gaslighting starts. And when that starts, they use their emotional manipulation to play on your sympathies so that they're the victim. So you can see it's similar to the Machiavellian individual. So there is some crossover, but and again, a lot of us have experienced these things, whether in our personal relationships or in our work relationships. And finally, I have psychopathy. And remember, these are just the dark triad, so to speak. There are a lot of other darker personality traits that come into play. And if anyone is interested, I do have a course out that will talk about all of these more in depth. So be on the lookout for that. But okay, so the last one, psychopathy. Again, and I've talked about this with the others, they lack empathy. They have no empathy, no remorse, and they tend to be impulsive and they want to seize that opportunity for their own personal gain. And they also tend to groom people. So they look for people that have vulnerabilities that they can take advantage of so that they can use that for their personal gain. And they also like to shift the blame around, right? They try to deflect it from themselves and put it onto somebody else, again, because they don't care. They have no emotional anything going on. So that's kind of like the background of everything. And I hope I gave you a little bit there for you to think about in how these things might come up in your life. But story time. I have a story for each one of these dark personality traits. Again, these are not real stories. Okay. These are not, well, these may be situations that people have encountered, but these are not real people that I'm talking about. These are not no one that I've known. I've just pulled names out of a hat, basically. So the first one we're going to talk about is psychopathy. And we have David and Lisa. Okay. So David really only wants to be friends with people for his own personal gain. And he comes across Lisa, who is really good at something that he wants to learn how to do or know more about. So he becomes friends with Lisa. But because he has psychopathic tendencies, he's not really Lisa's friend because he could care less about Lisa. He is only caring about what he's going to get out of this relationship. So he befriends Lisa and he shows really genuine interest. He's not lying about that. He has genuine interest in what she's doing. And why does he have this genuine interest? Because he wants to know more about it for himself. And there's an end goal here, right? So this is where the manipulation starts. He really shows interest. He spends a lot of time with her. He's very supportive. He's very caring. He asks her lots of questions. He does things that she wants to do so that he can pick her brain on more information. But then slowly he starts to exploit her knowledge and he starts asking about her connections on where she got that information or who does she know that could help with this. And once he has all of that information, see you later, bye Lisa, I don't need you anymore. And I really didn't care about you. I only cared about the subject, right? So he discards her. Gone. See ya. Bye. And Lisa now is completely confused because she thought that she had a friend. So she has been subjected to, manipulation by an individual who had these psychopathic traits, right? So, and, like I said, these similar situations. So you can kind of see how this might relate in your life or maybe even to people that you know. One of your friends may have gone through a situation similar to this. All right. So our next story is going to be about a narcissist. And it's going to be a romantic story, someone that they're in a relationship together. And we have Emily. Now, last week, Emily made an appearance as the good guy. Well, this week, Emily is going to be the narcissist. And Emily is now with Jake. I think last week she was with Jeff, but she's with Jake this week. So Emily moves around a lot and she changes roles. So Emily is in her relationship, she's the narcissist. So what does she want? She constantly wants that admiration. She wants to be in control. She is the one that just wants to have everybody do what she wants. Jake, on the other hand, he's wonderful. He's very caring. He's very devoted. And Emily likes to use that to her benefit. So she love bombs Jake, right? So they were just starting out this relationship. So last week, Emily was the good guy and she was with a narcissist, Jeff. So Emily picked up all of Jeff's bad habits, and when she stood on her own 2 feet and booted Jeff, she became the narcissist herself and she jumped into this relationship with Jake over here. Okay. So now she's love bombing Jake because she knows what that's like. She lived that. So now she's going to do it. All right. Again, people, this is all fake. I'm making this up. So she's with Jake. Jake's this loving, caring, devoted, wonderful human being. And she's love bombing him. She is giving him all the affection. She is creating that strong emotional bond, right? That's what you get in the first couple months of your relationship. She is there for him. And slowly, in say about month 3.5, going into month 4 over here, she starts belittling him a little bit, right? She's like, all of a sudden his achievements are not so wonderful. Jake is a little dumbfounded and confused. And now he's starting to think, oh my goodness, maybe I wasn't as good at that as I thought I was. I must have stopped doing what she liked. And that's why, she's telling me the truth now, because why would she lie to me? For the first 3 months, she's been like all in telling me how wonderful I am. It has to be me, right? Jake is all about, oh my God, now his self-esteem is right down the drain. He tries harder and harder. And the more dependent he becomes on her for validation, the more she knows she has him and she can start pulling things away again. And that's when she starts gaslighting him and turning it around and making him really, really doubt everything that he thinks has been true all of this time. And she makes herself the victim. And oh my gosh, you thought you were doing so wonderful. Look at, you're really not. And now this is hurting me. So this is Emily saying to Jake, hey, you used to be wonderful and now you're terrible, when in fact it's her that changed. So kind of think about that little scenario, because a lot of the people that I talk to that have been in some type of a relationship with a narcissist, this is pretty accurate. This is, a lot of them have given me one example or another of pretty much word for word what I said here. And like I said, you're looking at about 3.5 months before that mask comes off. So the last one is our wonderful Machiavellian individuals. And this one is going to be a work relationship. So we went from friends to romantic to work. So we're covering all the bases here. So in this one, we're going to go for a promotion, right? And we have Alex and Sarah. Alex is a Machiavellian individual. Alex is extremely, extremely ambitious. Sarah's just a good person. She works hard. She has put her time in. She wants this promotion because she deserves it. She has all of the credentials that go along with it. She knows she can be a wonderful contributing employee. But Alex just wants a title over here. Alex just wants a big paycheck. He could care less about the work. He's just ambitious in that regard. He wants the corner office and the 6-figure paycheck. And Sarah, she deserves that. But Alex starts gaining Sarah's trust. And he starts sharing a little bit because Alex has already come up through the ranks a little bit. So Sarah's new, and Sarah came in at a level that Alex has gotten to, by working through the ranks. And of course, Alex got there by his manipulation tactics. So he befriends Sarah because now he knows he's in competition with her. And right, Machiavellian individuals, it's them. They don't want to be in competition with anybody. So when he befriends Sarah, he starts giving her little tidbits about what the promotion process is like, some kind of like insider information, this is what you can look for. But when he's doing that, he's modifying it a little bit, and he's basically telling her all of your achievements, which are probably really good, are nothing. They're really not what they're looking for this promotion. So he downplays her achievements, and he makes her think that all of her strengths are really not strong enough for this position. He then tells her that, wow, you know what? There's a lot of people in the company right now that are going for this position. So do you really want to go for this? Do you want to be in that with all these people? There's a lot of competition here. So he's spreading those rumors so that he can distract her from it. Now she's already second guessing herself because she thinks he's her friend over here. So she's distracted by that. Maybe I really don't have the strengths that I thought I had. He's saying they need more. And so now she's concerned. She's not going to apply because now she's doubting herself because he has put this in her head. He has manipulated the situation. And promotion time comes, and guess what? Alex gets the promotion. Sarah does not. And Sarah realizes after the fact that there were no other people involved in this promotion. It was just her and Alex. And Alex used that situation inappropriately to gain the advantage. So Sarah learned a valuable lesson there. And hopefully the higher up saw it too in the end. But so that's what I have for everybody today. And I hope this showed a little bit more of the behind the scenes on manipulation and where it can come from and why it would start. And, if you guys have any questions, as always, please put them in the comments. You can message me anything that you want. And you know what? I didn't tell you guys, and I apologize because I always like to start with this saying, I'm not a doctor or a therapist, and all of this information is, usually something that I've gone through or my friends. But in this case, these were my made up stories, but these were just basic information that is about these personality traits and about manipulation in and of itself. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, come into our group, which is a safe space. A lot of people in the group have gone through situations like this. So if maybe you're going through a situation and you're not sure if it falls into one of these categories because, they've manipulated you to the point that you're really doubting yourself, ask someone for their opinion. Someone that has no knowledge of you or the situation, lay the situation out and ask somebody for their opinion, because they're going to give you an honest answer at that point because they have nothing to gain. So the person you're asking couldn't possibly try to manipulate it because they literally have nothing to gain. So you're in an absolutely safe space in the group. So please feel free to come in, ask questions. And like I said, the course is out. There's, I believe there's ebooks out. There's so much out there, guys. And the podcast is out. If you haven't seen it in the group, it's out there on YouTube. Out there on, I don't know, like 5 different platforms, Spotify, please go out there, look at what's out there, look at the people that I'm talking to, listen to their stories and see what they've gone through, what they've overcome, and where they're going with that. Use it for inspiration because, like I said, this is a journey that we're on. You're not going to wake up one day and go, oh, guess what? I'm healed. That everybody continues on this journey. We're going to keep working on our self-care. We're going to keep working on, meditation and journaling and all of that stuff to make us really solid people. so that when these situations come up, we're better able to spot them. So if, like I said, you have any questions, please reach out. And I hope everybody got a little bit out of this and that you all have a fabulous weekend. So cheers, everybody.